forgetting that he didn't know how to do this part.
Well, a lot of people pretend they don't know how to do something.
We're no pretenders.
That's right. All right, let me just drop in the hello, everyone in YouTube land. This is going to take 2 seconds, and we're going to be up and running.
Doing the money sign.
Perfect. Loafer.
Okay, let me hide this.
Lovey.
Okay.
Oh, this is going to
If you're watching already, we're going to be starting soon. We were just talking about how it's amazing that we figured out how to live stream on YouTube and Facebook with just one click, and anyone can do it if you're working your podcast using Zoom. There's a little button you click to live stream. You just send it to YouTube. You click your YouTube account, and next thing you know, the video's live streaming.
Yeah, and this just goes with the show today because we have a little box that costs $160. We got 2 mics that cost us like $50 each, these SM58s, and it's the same quality that a lot of great podcasts use, and we got the winning kick back into this, forward actually, into the middle school studios again, and this is what happens when we say yes and learn how to say enough is enough to bad our thoughts that don't feel good and are limiting and are not true. All right, shall we get started?
Yes, and I remember you telling me Michael Jackson used that very
He
same
did.
mic.
Yeah. Well, yeah, my buddy Josh found that out, so that's amazing.
Are you ready? I'm going to record.
Yes, let's go.
Welcome to The Funniest Thing.
That's right.
Where each week we share stories about how stepping out boldly always leads to better than expected outcomes.
Yes, indeed.
I'm Darrell.
I'm Ed.
And we're broadcasting live from middle school studios in beautiful downtown Culver City, the heart of Screenland.
That's right. That's right.
You know what, Ed?
Let's hear it.
Enough is enough.
That's right. With Kea Meyers Duggan, our guest today, which we're very excited about, because thoughts have power, but they're still only thoughts. We must ever remind ourselves that we are the watchmen at the gate. We have authority over what we choose to think and what thoughts we will entertain. This is crucial because the thoughts we entertain build momentum with corresponding feelings. When that occurs, our material circumstances will correspond as well. In metaphysics, it's said, feelings aren't facts, they're indicators. Let's see here. When we're feeling bad, its root can be traced to a discouraging thought. We can't prevent the thoughts that come into our mind, but we do have the power to dismiss the discouraging ones as they arise. That's exercising discipline in the true sense of the word, which means to go in a good way. On this episode, Darrell and Ed encourage listeners to mind their minds. Dismiss discouraging thoughts and entertain the positive ones. Remind yourself that a discouraging thought is just a sentence in your head that can easily be erased and replaced. And during the second segment, guest Kea Meyers Duggan gets things cooking with today's reading, A Dependable Recipe. Kea Meyers Duggan. My mind keeps wanting to put a G in the middle for some reason. But we are so happy to have such a positive guest on the show. Yeah. We will get to that. We want to thank our Patreon subscribers, contributors. Really keeps the commercials out of the show. It just makes everything easier for Darrell and Ed to get this message out, and it's fun to be a part of the community. It's fun. Darrell and Ed tithe and circulate money to things, invest money in things that bless us, and that's what this is all about. So you can contribute to the show, patreon.com/funniest thing. We got a nice contribution in the Funniest Thing P.O. Box, which is Funniest Thing P.O. Box 1312, Culver City, California, 90232, from the Unity Church of Christ, who tithes part of their tithes for the year to Darrell and Ed.
Yeah, so that was incredible.
It blew our minds, and the timing of it was so amazing because I was having one of these days where my energy was kind of feeling low, and then I took a walk with Jennifer and my friend Josh back to their car, and I said, enough is enough of this thinking, and I got the momentum going in a positive direction, and I felt so supercharged and was just excited about life again. And right then, Darrell sends me the picture of the tithe from Unity Church of Christ. And just one thing led to another. Everywhere I was looking. That's what happens when we say enough is enough to the crap thinking. It's not. Our thinking can think, oh, it's hard, but it's not. It's actually so much easier to say enough is enough to those thoughts and get on with the good life, because the good life is the truth. Good life will support us immediately when we say enough is enough to the crap.
Now we're going to do our 3 breaths.
Yes.
So if you're having thoughts, and remember, thoughts are just sentences in our heads.
Yes. And you know we got to do those? Should we just take a deep breath?
Are we going to do these thoughts?
We're going to do this one?
We're going to do our 3 breaths.
Yeah, you mean these or those?
Oh. Oh, no. I'm just talking about in general.
Oh, I thought you were doing a lead in and we were going to go straight in. I thought you were like the band leader and we're just going to hit it right now.
Yeah. Okay. You ready?
Yeah. So let's take a deep breath to clear our mind.
These are our 3 breaths, folks.
Tell those thoughts to just get out. Say it clearly. Spell it out.
Tell those thoughts to just get out. Say it clearly. Spell it out.
Tell those thoughts to just get out. Say it clearly. Spell it out.
And if you don't know the rest of that song, it goes, enough is enough is enough.
I can't go on.
I can't go on no more. No.
Yes.
So with that in mind, we're going to read some readings that'll help you, hopefully, dismiss the crummy thinking. Because here's the thing. Once, from my own experience, and this happens on a daily basis when these thoughts come up, I can't stand them as much as some other folks. Some people can stand thinking about them, ruminating on them, or maybe they've been misled to think that when you have bad thoughts, that's just part of life, and maybe you should investigate where these thoughts are coming from. But I will tell you, you can do that. And if you get some sort of maybe key why you keep thinking a certain thought over and over, well, that's great. But the bottom line is, eventually you're going to have to come to the point where you get into the habit of dismissing those thoughts that feel bad as soon as they crop up.
That it really is metaphysics. That's the difference. Yeah. That's where we go from spiritual psychology or any kind of psychology to metaphysics, claiming dominion and the ability to just say, nope, deny the truth of it, pay attention. If it feels bad, it's not right for me, it's not true to who I am, and be willing to exercise dominion to say, enough is enough.
Because some people might go, well, yeah, but how do I know I'm not getting rid of those old thoughts, and I'm just saying no, and I'm thinking positive thoughts. That's Pollyanna. Well, there's 2 ways to erase a tape. One way is to erase the tape. The other way is to record something new over it. Your brain, our brain, my brain, it operates the same.
Right.
So here's a few things from Emmett Fox that drive these ideas.
Let me throw in this image too that just came to me when you were talking, which is the Christ in us is James Brown, the band leader. James Brown didn't look to the band to tell him what songs to play. He told the band what songs to play. And he did it with enthusiasm and fervor. And metaphysics is realizing we just have to stick with it with persistence is what I want to say. That the band, if it's been playing songs we don't like, has to start playing the songs we do like once we give them the new direction. And you just got to see it to believe it. You got to do it to believe it. It happens. And because once the band starts playing the songs you want, magic happens.
Well, you're going to get evidence of it in your circumstances. There's a Bible quote. Oh, no, he's going to say Bible quotes. Well, anyway, there's a Bible quote, and it's, he that tilleth his land shall have plenty of bread. And you know what bread means, folks. And the irony of it all is, you know, bread in modern vernacular means money. Well, the metaphysical meaning of bread meant the things, all the things we need, everything we need that's necessary for our prosperity. So this idea, he that tilleth his land shall have plenty of bread, the esoteric meaning of that, land means our consciousness. He'll have all the land his mind can see. That's another Bible verse. And it has to do with we inherit what we see in our minds, ends up in our circumstances. And this doesn't mean we have to become farmers and work hard. What it means is the hard work is in our thinking, our consciousness.
The hard work is also just remembering, you know what, I deserve and I'm worthy to feel good, and these thoughts are crap and they're not making me feel good. And that's why it's good to have friends and podcasts and books to remind you that you are worthy, and that's just a given.
And so tilling the land means pulling weeds. And weeds are these thoughts, these negative thoughts, the discouraging thoughts is in our description. But here, this is from Emmett Fox. It's from a book called Around the Year with Emmett Fox. It's a great morning reader. We recommend it, a reading for every day. And this one is called Dealing with the Negative. And this really makes it clear what we're talking about when we say these discouraging or negative thoughts. What is meant by negative thinking? A negative thought is any thought of failure, disappointment, or trouble. Any thought of criticism or spite or jealousy or condemnation of others or self-condemnation. Any thought of sickness or accident, or in short, any kind of limitation. In practice, you will never have any trouble in knowing whether a given thought is positive or negative. Even if your brain tries to deceive you, your heart will whisper the truth. Sometimes our brain tries to deceive us by justifying a negative condition that we've outgrown by trying to tell us, well, it's not so bad. They're generous people. I can continue to stay put. You know, when our heart is saying there's more for you. Like, this was good up until this point, but don't be afraid to go forth and delete these ideas. And then it goes, second, you must be quite clear that what this scheme calls for is that you shall not dwell upon negative things. It is not the thoughts that come to you that matter, but only such of them as you choose to entertain and dwell upon. Many negative thoughts will come to you all day long. Some will be given to you by other people, or you will hear disagreeable news, or you'll see a disagreeable post or YouTube short that'll get you fired up. These things, however, do not matter so long as you do not entertain them. An analogy is furnished by the case of a man who is sitting by an open fire when a red-hot cinder flies out and falls on his sleeve. If he blows that cinder off at once, without a moment's delay to think about it, no harm is done. But if he allows it to rest on him for a single moment, under any pretense, the mischief is done, and it will be a troublesome task to repair the sleeve. So it is with a negative thought. And a great follow-up to this, also from Emmett Fox. Now, this is in a book called Find and Use Your Inner Power. And this is great, because this helps put the power of thoughts in perspective. And remember, you could tell yourself, this thought is just a sentence in my head. But now I'm starting to take that sentence and turning into a launching pad
Can I say one
for
thing you
all
really helped
other
me? I'm
negative
sorry to cut you
things.
off.
No, go ahead.
'Cause
And that's when the
shared this
feelings start coming.
Yeah, you shared this with me this week, and it's like it's literally transforming everything because I recognized something that I was doing using like a lot of spiritual psychology techniques and stuff to like do way too much work, and all of a sudden I couldn't. It was just too much. And Darrell picked up on me saying, I have this part of me that's saying this, I have this voice. And he said, it's not, and he was like a throwaway comment, but because I'm always doing my morning routine, I caught it when he said it, because he didn't say like, Ed, you got it. He said it. I call him the Oracle of Clifton, because he like throws it out. And if you're listening, you get it. And he said, you always got voices or something, you always got this. And it's like, it's just thoughts. And I thought about it later, and it is changing my whole thinking, because when I was telling my subconscious mind that it was a voice or a part of me, that was empowering it. It's not, it's just, it was making it too hard to let go of, because it was, my subconscious mind goes, oh, there's another person in here, and you don't know what to do. I was kind of inadvertently scaring myself and keeping it as they're just thoughts, even if they have a lot of emotional charge on it. Like, you know what I'm saying? They come through hot. I did this amazing idealization, which is what Brown Landon, this old truth teacher, calls visualizing, but just visualizing the whole process of how you want to feel. And it's really positive because it's helping me. That's what we really want to be doing with our mind, is always thinking about what we want. So I did this amazing idealization, and then these thoughts bubbled up, and it was full of charge, and it was like kind of contradicting everything I had just done. But because we've been talking about it, I said, these are just thoughts.
Yeah.
And I really had to say it, you know what I'm saying? Because I'm teaching myself that these are just thoughts, because I had hypnotized myself into believing other things, right? So I told myself that. And then I started laughing, because what it made me think of was, if I'm at work, like I'm in my element or doing something I love, like Darrell and I are doing this show. If someone comes running in and they're out of their mind with fear, we don't go, we better stop what we're doing and follow that person's lead.
Yeah.
We'll pray for them. We'll bless them. We'll close the door.
Yeah.
But we're not going to say, I better follow what they're doing.
Yeah.
But the when we get these thoughts just bubble up and they get a lot of emotion on them, I mean, bad feeling emotion, that's the equivalent of what I was doing before. That it became so clear. In no other time would I think it would be a good idea to listen to the thought that feels terrible. Got to bless it and forget it. Enough is enough. I was thinking earlier today, I know this is a bit, all this stuff is flowing, but when we were walking, we've talked about the yes walk. I think I need to start. What's the left foot is which is the right foot? Left foot is the yes. I think my right foot needs to be the no. Deny. Enough is enough. Because asserting the power to say no to what feels bad, this is also basic metaphysics. Deny what is not true and affirm what is true.
And you just reminded me of a great little bit in a Catherine Ponder book called Dynamic Laws of Prosperity. Mm-hmm. She says, you may be telling yourself, or you may think that affirmations are just self-hypnosis.
Right.
And she says, no, they are not self-hypnosis. Matter of fact, by saying statements that are true, anything that's positive is true. The word God is synonymous with good.
Yes.
And by saying affirmations, positive thoughts, limitless ideas about your goals or your desires, rather than stifling ideas or coming up with reasons why it can't be done, that when we do these affirmative statements, we're not hypnotizing ourselves, trying to fool ourselves into life being good. We're actually, and she puts it, dehypnotizing ourselves from the belief that life's a struggle and, eventually it's over. And she says that's the opposite. It's the opposite. And here Emmett Fox says, and this is the clincher. I have to hang my hat on this stuff, and I do. Otherwise, I can't even imagine where I'd be. And listen to what he says. Only your own thoughts, no matter what problem you may have to face today, there is a solution because you have nothing to deal with but your own thoughts. As you know, you have the power to select and control your thoughts. Difficult though it may be at times to do so, as long as you think that your destiny is in the hands of other people, the situation is hopeless. People say, it's useless for me to struggle because of such and such a reason. If I only had a profession, if I only had married someone else, if I only had not bought this business, if only I had gone abroad when I had the chance, and so on. But this is a vital mistake because you have nothing to deal with but your own thoughts. And that means right now, that's the good news. That's what I am the resurrection means, or repent.
Yes.
Repent is from the Greek word metanoia, which just means change your mind. Or like that other Bible voice, till your land. And just pull that weed, chuck it to the side, and continue going in the direction of your heart's desire. And it starts in our thinking. And it goes on to say, remind yourself of this fact constantly, that it's only a thought. And like Ed said, some come in with a lot of emotion, but that doesn't change the fact that it's only a thought, and I could choose to deny it. And listen, a lot of these thoughts that come up that are really emotionally charged, they're thoughts we have thought before. They're thoughts that we have thought before that have said, you can't do this, or why bother, or they're old regrets, or they're old things we haven't forgiven ourselves for that we think are reprehensible. They're always just old, worn out thoughts. But I'll tell you what, they start losing their power, or they won't lose their power, rather, until you say, no, this is just a thought. I've thought this thought enough. Yeah. That's why we chose the Donna Summer, Barbara Streisand song, Enough is Enough. Because it's just a repetitive thought, and that's why it also carries so much emotion, because we've allowed ourselves to ruminate on it. I know for myself, the ones that come through hot, they're not just totally new ideas.
Right.
They're always grounded in something, a regret, a
That's
resentment.
Right. Oh, yeah.
Or self-condemning idea I have where I should have turned right instead of left some 30 years ago.
Right.
And we just say, no, now is the time. Today is the day. And this is what I want to say. When we change our mind today, that's what changes our future.
That's right.
Instead of saying, oh God, when am I going to start? I can't believe I still think this way. Well, you know what? I still have those thoughts. Everybody has those thoughts. That's the thing with life. We have to keep being the watchman at the gate. And here's another thing to think about.
Can I just say this about,
I just want to say this quick affirmation. Say this to yourself. My future is determined by my present attitude, not by all those old thoughts, not by all those mistakes you made. And that's why, as long as I don't re-entertain them, and that's what resentment means. It means to think it again. So my future, and tell yourself this is only a thought. That could be the first part of the affirmation. That's the denial. This is only a thought. This is only a sentence in my head. And my future is determined by my present attitude. And attitude means our mental approach to life.
believing that it's limitless, believing that anything good is possible, that any opportunity can come, that it's not too late.
Yeah, and you just got to experiment with it, because what I was going to add into what you're saying is, because I've been using this, and you said some great things, which was exactly what I was thinking. But one of the things that really helped me this week was start to tell myself that everyone thinks these kind of thoughts.
Yes.
Because when I was fearful in the past, one of the beliefs was like, this thought makes me bad, like something, whatever. But reminding myself, dude, everyone thinks these kind of thoughts, and then telling myself these thoughts will pass way quicker than I realize right now. Saying it out loud to yourself, being able to say no is another thing. Like we're saying, the denial. Yes. Joseph Murphy, Raymond Charles Barker in The Power of Decision says the power of the word no is tremendous. What you mentally say no to will begin to depart in ways of order and in ways of peace. The failure to say no to completed situations eventually results in disrupting conditions that are unpleasant and unnecessary. The word no declared in mind eliminates all congestion. It is clear and direct and to the point. The subconscious mind knows the word no as a law of elimination. And that's what a lot of people don't believe. And I used to think that too. Like our subconscious mind is intelligence. It's undirected intelligence, but it knows when we say no, what we mean. It acts upon it to release those ideas which no longer have creative life in them. The subconscious mind, having within it all subjective intelligence, proceeds to eliminate the idea, which is cause and effect, which is the problem. Which is cause and the effect, which is the problem. It eliminates both the cause, which is the thoughts, and the effect, which is what appears to be a problem. It acts in intelligent and right ways to do this.
You know what Ringo says when he has negative thoughts?
What do you say?
He says, no, 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 I can't think that no more.
Yes.
I'm tired of waking up on the floor.
Yes.
No, thank you, please. It only makes me wheeze, and then it makes it hard to find the door.
Yeah, the less we grapple with these things, the better. Sometimes whatever act of will it takes to redirect from the idea that these thoughts mean there's something wrong with us, or that we have to put a lot of work into change that. Cut that out, man. Like, I feel like I'm getting my life back. I didn't realize how much effort, because underneath it all was this thought that there's something wrong with me. I better do so. It's like, nah, we all have thoughts. Let it rip. Let them flow through. Start to have a lighter touch, laugh easier at these thoughts. And that's what I've been affirming, that I am not only am I letting them go, I'm able to laugh at what is coming up, because it's so outlandish sometimes, And I'll just read this upbeat little reading. We'll thank Jeff Comfort, and we'll get Kea in here. In The Creative Responsibility by Thomas Sicking, which has been my nightly 2-pager by the bedstand. Last night I just reread this, where he says, "You are a fantastically creative being right now. This is how you were created, and you can literally achieve anything of which you can conceive. Don't sell yourself short. You are not the product of a broken home, a devastated economy, a world in the upheaval of war, a minority group, a family of drunkards, or a poverty-ridden neighborhood. You are the product of your own thinking process. Whatever you are thinking about today is the cornerstone of your tomorrow. Right now, you have within you the innate ability to create the kind of life you want for you. This is simply the way your Creator created you. You are really awesomely and wonderfully made." And every time lately, I've found a way to just, enough is enough. These are just thoughts.
Yeah.
Just breathe. Realize thoughts cannot harm me in any way. It's only the reaction to thoughts that ends up causing more stress. But it's almost like on a roller coaster. Sometimes I'm like, I know, okay, this is just thoughts. But then a thought will come through that just brings me back to my senses. What was I thinking? There's a Mr. Magoo.
That's the resurrection.
That's the resurrection. There's a Mr. Magoo cartoon where he's flailing, he's drowning, help me. And the lifeguard yells, just stand up. And it turns out he's in ankle deep water. That's the resurrection.
Yeah.
We stand up and we realize I had given power to something that, and no one's to blame. Who cares how it started?
It doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter. Just let go of it. Just let go of it. So
today is the day of your salvation, which means solution.
Today, yeah, and it's just today when I did it, earlier today. All of a sudden, the next thing I know, I've started a TikTok channel. A series of inspirational things have come up. I've been just coming out as the educational healer, because that's my inspired idea, instead of teacher or what. But in that realm, that just came to me, so I started using it and doing fun TikTok videos, because my friend's older brother, who has a child with autism, suggested it, because we started talking and I got on fire. And then Darrell said, "You got to live in what he told you." And I said,
don't dismiss these
don't
good
dismiss
ideas.
it. Keep it alive. And then I remembered him saying TikTok. So I was like, you know what? I'm not even going to worry. I'm just going to do one, start a page. And I started doing that. And then one of the things people say, get testimonials from parents. And this thoughts come up, how am I going to do that? I'm not that kind of person. But I was surfing with a friend of mine whose son I worked with. And he started just giving me this inspired testimonial. And I almost said, oh, I'll have him record that. And I'll ask him, I'll email him, see if he'll do one for me. But my mind said, do it right now. You guys are together. You're feeling good. As soon as I said it, he said, yes, I would love to do it. And 30 seconds, 2 minutes later, one take, the perfect testimonial. What I'm saying is I stepped through. All we have to do is step through the thought.
Well, you kept saying no to all those thoughts that you normally would give credence to.
That's
you
right.
said, nope, nope, nope. And do you see how easy everything happens?
It's like they say, the great teachers say, when you feel that stuff, it means your good is upon you. So finding ways to jump for joy about that these thoughts are coming, finding ways to just say they're just thoughts and let them go. Amazing, like life comes rushing in to affirm. You're not going to have to keep struggling, because that's part of the old thinking.
Yeah.
No, as soon as you let them go, the whole world opens up to you.
Well, because what happens is we get the good. This is what happens to almost everyone, including myself.
Yeah.
Someone will tell you something that seems out of your ballpark too good.
Yeah.
But they see it possible for you, and our mind, when we hear these things, then these thoughts can come from within. Mm-hmm. We can get an inspired idea.
Yes.
And what happens is the bad mental habit that the world somehow got in our heads and taught us, we immediately start thinking of why it's going to be difficult.
Right.
Like you said, well, how am I going to meet parents? I'm not that type of person.
Right.
The key is those are the thoughts to delete.
Yep.
Just delete them. You don't even have to think a new thought of how it's going to come out.
That's right.
Just delete these thoughts that are going, but I don't know how. What? That's just, or telling yourself you're not that type of person.
Right.
Just say, no. Just know that positive thought. Let it linger. And I'm telling you, the ways and the means will come.
Yeah, have a simple affirmation like God loves me that you can kind of move towards. Something very easy to like, nope, that's just a thought. And then, just go, God loves me. And like really dummy down and start laughing. God loves me. And like anything. Sometimes just the denial is enough. And then if you have a little something special to throw in there and it's true, it's just amazing, because God does love us. It's just truth, like you were saying earlier. All right, let's thank Jeff Comfort. He's the chief engineer for the show. We love him. We appreciate him. He is a prosperous man as we speak, and each week he takes us
right into the comfort zone.
Coming up next, guest Kea Meyers Duggan gets things cooking with today's reading, A Dependable Recipe, from Emmett Fox also. Thank you for listening to Funniest Thing with Darrell and Ed, live from middle school studios in beautiful downtown Culver City, the heart of Screenland. All right. I'll just roll through to the end if you want to use the restroom.
No, I'm ready.
All right.
Kea's back.
Here I am.
Are you ready, Ed?
Yeah. Are you ready, Kea?
I'm ready.
Great. All right. All right, everyone. Welcome back to Funniest Thing with Darrell and Ed. Today's show is called Enough is Enough with Kea Meyers Duggan. We're so happy you're here. How are you, Kea?
I'm doing so well. I'm so glad to be back with you guys.
Oh, man, we are so glad to have you back, and your smile and your laughter. And we just want to open the floor to you now, because you've been listening throughout the whole first segment. So what's on your heart and mind to share with us and our listeners and viewers on this subject?
Yeah, I was taking copious notes while you all were talking because there's so much goodness. And one thing, as you guys were getting to the end of your first segment, I was thinking about, Darrell, I think you were responding to something that Ed was thinking about, like, oh, how am I going to do that? Oh, that's not going to work. No one's going to. And what came to mind was something that one of my favorite speakers, Les Brown, says. He says, when you argue for your limitations, you get to keep them.
Yep.
And it's like, and when you keep running over that and create, and so just to bring in a little bit of science, when you keep creating those pathways in your brain, it gets really hard. It's not impossible, but it gets really hard to be able to let in those new thoughts because you have created such a rut, and our brains are built for safety and familiarity and comfort. And so it's so easy to think those automatic thoughts, but we can change them. And when we're aware of it, it's actually called metacognition. Think about what you're thinking about, instead of just letting these, harsh thoughts and harsh sayings fly. Pause, take a step back. Wait, what did I just think? What am I thinking about? Is that true? And there's even a book about this, about don't believe everything you think.
Yes.
Don't believe everything you think. But Ed, I love what you said about how when those thoughts are coming up, those harsh thoughts, they're coming up for a reason. I love what you said about when they come, that means that something good is upon you. Those thoughts are there as a messenger. So I just really appreciated what you said about, like, let them come in and let them flow, because they're telling you what you really want. They're telling you the direction that you really want to go in, and the direction that's meant for you.
Right.
So those are things that were really, really coming up for me as you all were talking.
Yeah, that's awesome. I think the ability to let them in and still declare what I know to be true now is that's like the winning combination. Because I think the idea of meekness does not mean just weakness or just letting ourselves be overrun by ideas that don't suit us. It means not having to prove or fight, but stating what we know to be true is not fighting. And it can be misconstrued depending on, like, whatever we thought in the past, that somehow us affirming what we know to be true is like fighting or combative, and it is not. Speaking enthusiastic truths is a celebration of life that we all have a right to do. And in fact, if I want to get where I want to go, it's something to just keep practicing.
Yeah. And the affirmations, when you were, what was it, Catherine Ponder, that people were saying, oh, affirmations are self-hypnosis. And I love what you said, Darrell, about how it's dehypnotizing, because it's when you're saying those positive affirmations, when you're saying and claiming what is true about you or what you want to be true about you, right? It's now creating those new familiar pathways in your brain so that you can start to believe and think a new truth about you, something that's better and more abundant. And I think often about the Bible scripture, life and death is in the power of the tongue.
Yes. Yep.
So, just being able to redirect that thought that is coming up that is not serving you, that harsh thought, that then become harsh emotions, being able to create a new direction for yourself that's where the freedom and the power is for you.
Yeah.
Well, it's funny. It's like the word vigilant somehow has taken on the meaning of be vigilant, meaning be, it sounds like I'm trying to think, be somehow strict in your lifestyle. But that's not what the word means at all. It means exactly what you just said. Be vigilant. Vigilant just means awake.
Yes.
And it means be awake to your thinking.
Mhm.
Be awake to what you're thinking, because out of your thinking is going to be your future. It doesn't mean remain harsh to yourself, because then maybe you'll get in heaven because you were mean to yourself your whole life. No, it doesn't mean that at all. But these words take on these meanings depending on the vehicle through which they came to us,
Right.
whether as a child or an adult. Somehow the way they're introduced can change the meaning dramatically. Because when you look back at these words and just read their definitions, I always get pleasantly surprised.
Yep.
Yeah, absolutely. And one thing that comes up a lot when I'm coaching people is about this. You were just talking about it, Darrell, of when someone says something that's self-deprecating or is very limiting for them, and it comes out as a judgment, right? As a perceived truth. And so I will ask, whose voice is that? Who said that? And then that causes people to pause to think about what they were just thinking about. And it's like, wait, whose voice is that, right? And sometimes it's the voice of a parent or a teacher. Sometimes it's a mashup, right? It's the parents, it's society, it's what we think other people think we should be doing.
Yeah.
And then it becomes this life force that that because of shame or because people are afraid of judgment, they keep it quiet, they keep it in the dark little corner, which is where it gets all this power. But when you put a light on it, a la metacognition, thinking about what you're thinking about, it's like, oh wait, that doesn't have to be true. No one said I had to do that. I guess I just thought that. What else could I think? What else could be true?
Yeah.
And it just all the pathways open up from that.
Yeah, you just said, I was wondering, why did I write down in my little journal today this quote, another quote? This one was from Catherine Ponder. It's from a book called Open Your Mind to Receive. It goes right along with what you just said about these voices and the opinion of others and how that can hold us back. And listen what she says. When we learn to claim our freedom from human opinion, most of our problems are resolved.
Mm-hmm.
When we learn to claim our freedom from human opinion,
Yes.
most of our problems are resolved. And that's the truth. Because if we really get honest, for myself, I can say, it's not what other people will think of me that holds me back from being myself. It's what I think other people will think about me that holds me back from being myself. I'm making up the opinions of others. We're all making those up.
Yes.
Even if it's someone familiar who you tell yourself always thinks this way, I'm still writing that script in my future experience.
Yes.
So I have to always remind myself, I gotta just keep claiming my freedom from human opinions.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, Darrell, if you didn't say it, I was going to say it, because when you said that on my podcast, it stuck with me of it's not what I think other people think of me, it's what I think other people and think of me. And
Yeah.
and that was so powerful, and it's so true. And I read this years ago when I had first started my business, and I was spending a lot of time on Instagram. And I can't remember who said it, but they were saying, no one cares as much as you think they do. Like we do all these things. Oh, if I do this, people are going to think this. And it's like, and I say this with love, with all the love in my heart. Honestly, no one is thinking about you. No one
That's
is thinking,
right.
they're so focused on what they're trying to do. They're so focused on just getting through their day that they're
Yes.
not paying attention to or tracking every little thing that you do or don't do. And
Yes.
so just I say that a lot to friends, family, and colleagues and coachees, but I also say that to myself when I start making up that chorus of
Oh,
of the critics, and it's like, Kea, no one cares. No one cares as much as you think they do. They're
that's the
just,
best
Yeah.
advice.
they're there. People just want to root you on. They want to cheer you on. They're not sitting, keeping a checklist
Yes.
somewhere. Oh, she did this. Oh, she didn't do that. Oh, she said she was going to do this. People have their own lives to get through. So just do you. Do you, be you,
Yes.
and let the chips fall where they may.
What will people think if I post this? Oh, what will people think? Just throw that out the window. I mean, I'm telling myself this. I hope you know. This is me talking to me, folks. But if you could benefit from it, this is the best show ever, because I need to hear this over and over and over,
Same.
because
Yeah.
that's where the
Yes.
freedom is. These are the
Yes.
major
Yes.
linchpins that hold us back.
Yes.
And that's why, thank God for Donna Summer. I had the biggest crush on Donna Summer. You know what's great about this song? I hate to talk about this, but I have to admit it, folks. So I picked this song, Enough is Enough, for our closing number, which we'll probably sing very poorly in comparison to Barbara Streisand
Of course.
and Donna Summer, but that's half the fun. When the greatest hits album came out in 1979 called On the Radio, and it was 2 albums, and I got that. And there's one thing I did have as a kid that was positive: initiative. I never thought highly of myself, but if there was an idea that I fell in love with, I would do it and I would execute it. So for some strange reason, I was determined to learn how to ride a unicycle when I was 17. So I had Donna Summer, this album, on the radio. And I don't know why, but I mean, I loved all the songs. But for some reason, I particularly loved this song. And I had a Camaro, of course. I'm Italian from New Jersey. So if you're in high school, you have a Camaro. But anyway, I had my Camaro, and I'd park at night when Pathmark wasn't closed, but it was later on in the evening. So the lights are on the parking lot, but like nobody's there shopping. And it was on the border of Pacific. So if you're familiar with New Jersey and where I'm talking about, you'll know right where this is, on Van Houten Ave. And I would go in the parking lot because they would have the lights in the parking lot had concrete about yay high, probably about 3 feet high, holding these poles up. It was
Right, I get what
poured
you're
concrete,
saying. Yeah, like this,
but it was
around the
part of the
bottom of it.
base. Yeah. So that was so I could kind of hold that while I got on my unicycle. I'd park my Camaro with the doors open, and I'd have this song blaring because it's like an 11-minute song. And man, I taught myself how to ride my unicycle blaring Donna Summer in that parking lot like every night for a week. And I was like, had it down. So that's why I love this song, because it helps me with these negative thoughts. And it goes off in my head because it was like, my Rocky music. Like if I was thinking, oh, I'm never going to learn unicycle, I'd go, enough is enough. And it just kept me going. I mean, I mastered this thing in a week, which was incredible.
Yeah. That's awesome, man. Unicycles are fun and magical. Maybe we should all get on our unicycles. I had an experience earlier at the pizza shop that goes along with what we're saying, because this morning I hadn't quite gotten in my groove yet, and I was telling myself these are all just thoughts, but there's still, there's still energy on it. Like I fully hadn't. I've been saying it's called I call it butterfly mode, when I'm out of the cocoon and I'm just flying high, and then sometimes I feel like I'm a furry little caterpillar still. I'm like, I was still kind of in the furry caterpillar thing, and like I asked for the 2 slices I wanted because Darrell's he's from New Jersey. He's like, what is this cheap little one you got me or whatever? So, which I like, because now I go in, I know which ones we want. I don't just like take whatever they give me. But this day, I was still like a little mumbly in my mind, and
I don't deserve to pick my own. I'll
Yeah.
let him give me the ones that are from
So,
yesterday.
I told him which ones I wanted, but I could tell he wasn't getting me. But he, in my mind, it looked like he was just over me being so needy, and he like got the wrong ones. He got one right, one wrong. So, but I was like feeling kind of, I was like, I can't say anything out of this place. So I went to use the restroom, and I heard in my mind what I've been studying, which is the universe can't help but reflect back to you what you are thinking about yourself.
Yes.
And so I started singing like, life's too short to not ask for, for what I want. And I started letting the music
Yes.
come through me like a Reverend Ike gospel kind of thing. And I kept singing as I was walking down the hall. And when I walked up, I patted him on the back. I go, oh man, we're going to get our collaboration back next week. We're going to get it right. And he turned into a totally different guy. He started laughing. He goes, yeah, man, I thought I got the ones you wanted. And I go, I know I wasn't. And I told
But
him.
he did give you the good ones.
Well, one of them was the smaller one.
Oh, did you eat that one?
I ate that one.
Ah.
But the thing was, when I changed who I knew to be inside, when I came,
Yes.
he lit up and we laughed
Yes.
together, and he was so like, he owned, yeah, I thought I had the right one. And when I told him what I was thinking, like I said, this is all, I know that the universe reflects back to me what I'm thinking. So I was like, I realized I got to change my thinking. And I said, I told him what I was singing, and he loved it. We both started laughing. He goes, man, that is so true. And he lit up for me sharing that. And then we all, I was waving to everyone, having the time of my life, leaving there. But it was because I used it as a wake-up call to be like, oh, I know what's going on here. I gotta let all that go, and enough is enough, and get in stride with life here.
Yeah, life reflects us at our own valuation of ourself.
And you can
in each moment.
Yeah, and it's really important that you realize there's no rule about how long this has to take for you to snap out of it.
Let's snap out now.
Be careful. Disregard everything you think you know about time, because I've noticed thoughts. Well, I'm in this period, and it has to take this, and I had to get back into the seat of the Christ within myself and say, this is happening now. It's already done. I give myself full permission to recognize there is nothing wrong with me. I am well and happy and whole now. I'm already where I want to be. And when you find those moments and insert that in, make sure you keep inserting that. The rest of it's just a story, because all you're really trying to do is catch up with what you already are, which is divinely amazing. And all those opportunities, everything you think you're lacking, just comes flooding in instantly. It's amazing. How does that sound?
Sounds like I'm enjoying Kea's smile.
Yes. Well, Ernest Holmes earlier this morning, at the end of the reading, said, say to yourself, I know that every negative condition of the past is swept aside. I refuse to see it or to think about it. Yesterday is no longer here. Tomorrow has not yet arrived. Today is God's day. God's day is my day. Today, bright with hope and filled with promise, is mine. I'm alive, awake, and aware today. Doesn't even matter if there's still some crap trying to say stuff. If you will step boldly into the day, God will take care of releasing it. Life will take care of showing you something new just by being willing to see something new. Even if you don't think you're quite ready, there's voices, doesn't matter.
Well, keep telling yourself you can do the thing you're trying to do.
Yes.
I do that at the gym all the time.
Yes.
I'll tell myself, come on, you're doing great. This is amazing.
Yes.
And I say it, silently in my head.
Yes.
When I'm starting to go, I'm getting tired. I pretend that I'm like this positive trainer I have standing beside me. And the results, it's instantaneous. And it feels so good. The same thing with things that might seem difficult, like, something creative you have to do. I have to tell myself all the time, all I got to do is make the first line and let God take over. All I got to do is open the door and I'll know exactly what to say, what to do. It's so empowering, because the only thing holding us back, like Emmett Fox says, and for me, I'll just say it in the first person, is my own thoughts about it. And I could change them. This is a quote that's been helping me for the past 2 weeks. I've been using it And it's beginning to take affirmative, positive action toward, like taking tiny steps towards the things I want to complete, the goals and desires I have going on right now. And it's this. It's in the we, but I put it in the I, and it's I can make self-fulfilling rather than self-defeating choices. I could be my own best friend rather than my own worst enemy. And it just helps me to make that decision instead of lazily going on with the, I don't need to do that right now. I go, wait, that's not self-fulfilling. That's self-defeating. That's not being your own best friend. That's being your own worst enemy. Come on, we could do this little bit right now. And I'll go, oh, okay. And I'll do the little bit, and I'm high as a kite. Like Ed said when he said, wait, would you do a testimonial right now? Instead of, well, I could do it later, I guess. I can ask him tomorrow. No, be your own best friend.
Yes. Yes. Well, and I love what you said just before Darrell gave his quote, Ed, but this came through in what Darrell said is be willing. Be willing to let in a new thought. And I think that's really the takeaway is you have choice. You have agency, you have freedom to decide what direction you're going to go in.
Yeah. Agree. Because, anytime we wake up from something we've been doing, we always realize, what was I thinking? I was the one making that so much harder than I needed to. So it's not like this awakening type. The wake up is more just, what was I thinking?
Yeah.
I'm already amazing. Like, it's always that, and so we can hasten the arrival of that awareness with that willingness and just dummy down and just keep putting the thought in. I am already that. I am already that. I am already that, because the subconscious, once we give it permission to be already that, if we tell our subconscious it has to take a long time, boom. If we tell it has to do this or that or the other thing, it just says boom. But if we go, no, the truth is now, keep doing it, then the subconscious wants to catch on, and it will catch on, and it will start playing the songs that we want to hear. And that is heaven on earth.
Love that.
Yeah, Donna Summer put that as, don't pretend that it's right when it's over.
That's right. All right. Anything else you want to share, Kea, before we shove off for the day?
We got a story.
No, this was such a great discussion and topic, and it's so important. The narratives, the stories that we tell ourselves, the thoughts that we think. This is gold.
Oh, that's awesome. Is there anywhere you want people to
find
you if they'd like to? Is there?
Oh, sure. LinkedIn, Kea Meyers Duggan, or on Instagram, also Kea Meyers Duggan.
Great. All right. Well, Kea Meyers Duggan, I dug this up, little story from one of your blogs. It said
TMZ, actually. We got
TMZ, right. I think they lifted it off of your blog, but it was on TMZ when we found it. Kea was working with a stand-up comedian on gaining confidence and polishing up his act. The comedian told Kea,
I had to do one of my jokes 3 days running.
Kea asked him,
what's wrong with that?
The comedian replied,
the joke is so bad that I can't do it standing still. I can't figure out what part of that's supposed to be funny.
I think it's because people start throwing tomatoes at him if he tries to tell the joke is so bad. I know. We did our best. All right. Well, thank you all for being part of Funniest Thing with Darrell and Ed, Kea Meyers Duggan. Please subscribe, share the show with your friends, rate and review it. Let's get this show out to as many people as possible.
Press the subscribe button.
Yes, this is pure metaphysics. It has a unique message that a lot of people will benefit from. So please share the show. And remember,
the moment I've been waiting for. If you reach the end, don't pretend that it's right when it's over. If the feeling is gone, don't think twice, just move on, get it over. Tell those thoughts to just get out. Say it clearly, spell it out. Enough is enough is enough. I can't go on. I can't go on no more. No, enough is enough is enough.
Yes. Have a great week, everybody. Thank you, Kea.
The title
Thank you.
The title of that song is No More Tears, folks.
Barbara Streisand and
And-
Donna Summer.
Yes.
All right. Bye.
Bye.
Thank you, Kea.
Thank you.